Welcome to the GSK Cape Town facility. The Cape Town facility is committed to protecting the health and safety of employees, contractors, visitors, and others affected by our operations. We are operating our business in an environmentally and socially responsible manner, with continuous improvements of EHS performance and complying with local requirements and global GSK EHS standards.
All contractors must abide by GSK site rules and regulations. Any persons found to be repeatedly ignoring these site rules and regulations will be removed from the facility. Please take note of the following requirements. Access control. All contractors except drivers of vehicles entering site are to sign in at the dedicated turnstiles at Gate 2. Passengers will only be permitted under exceptional circumstances. Drivers can enter at Gate 1. Security at Gate 2 will contact the contractor's GSK contact person to confirm the contractor's appointment on site prior to allowing them to access the site. All passengers who have entered at Gate 2 must proceed to Gate 1, where they must re-enter their vehicle to be transported to the contractor's parking area at the rear of the facility. All contractors will be issued with lanyards and must always wear the lanyards holding the identification tags issued by security at all times. Contractors' information cards must be placed inside the clear plastic pockets of their high visibility vests. All new contractors must use the identification tags and lanyards until their contractor information cards are ready. Once on site, the contractor must report to their GSK contact before starting work, even if they are in possession of a valid permit to work. All tools and materials that the contractors intend to remove from site at the end of the day or on completion of their assigned task must be declared daily on the contractor's vehicle equipment checklist. Site rules. Personal medication is to be declared at security when entering. Personal possessions must not be taken into production areas. Smoking is not permitted anywhere on site. Please use the designated area on the pavement and use the ashtrays provided. The possession or consumption of alcohol is not permitted on site. As part of the pest control program, persons may not eat anywhere on site except for inside the canteen. Mobile phones may not be used in any X-rated HAC declared zone or as indicated per signage. Inside manufacturing and packaging areas. Inside storage areas, ignitable liquids or powder dispensing. While operating any machinery, including mobile lifting devices, TSPs, heisters, etc. While ascending or descending stairs. While driving a vehicle on site or in the course of business, unless fitted with a hands-free kit. While walking anywhere inside or outside the factory. To make a call, stop, talk, finish, and then continue walking. No games or horseplay is permitted on site. If you are entering the premises with a vehicle, please observe the maximum speed limit of 25 km per hour. Any persons caught repeatedly speeding on site will be refused future access to site with their vehicles. All drivers must reverse park to facilitate quick and safe emergency evacuation. Wear your safety belt at all times. Don't talk on your cell phone while driving. Watch out for pedestrians. Parking on site is on a first-come, first-served basis, and parking is only permitted in designated areas. GSK may ask contractors to park outside the premises from time to time to relieve congestion. As a quick evacuation measure, all drivers parking under the shaded nets are requested to reverse park their vehicles when parking on site. Walk on designated yellow walkways. Before commencing any work on site, contractor must obtain a work permit from their GSK host. If the task you have to perform is located outside of the yellow lines, the area must be barricaded with cones or expandable barriers, and all persons performing the task must wear high visibility vests. CCTV surveillance operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Random searches may take place when persons are leaving site. Dress code, PPE, hygiene. Before entering an area, Check for instructions on dress code and PPE required. Factory dress requirements are extensively covered in the operating procedure, but basically there are 4 areas where a change in factory dress is mandatory when entering or leaving. Street black, uncontrolled environment where no specific dress requirement is necessary. Factory black, non-production areas within the factory. Factory grey, GMP areas within the factory for secondary production or where product is not exposed. Factory grey plus, GMP areas within the factory for primary production where the product is exposed. The area between factory black and factory grey areas is called the transition area, and this is the area where the appropriate PPE, overshoes, factory shoes, mop cap, snood and secondary protective garments can be accessed on entry and disposed of on exit. Factory shoes must be worn in all production operational areas except in the main walkways. Where it is necessary to wear hard hats whilst working at height, the hard hats must be fitted with chin straps. All other PPE required to perform the task safely will be task-related and stipulated on the method statement and permit to work. Any persons caught repeatedly not wearing the specified PPE will be removed from site. Follow safety signs and instructions. Hands must be washed every time you enter the factory. No glass or wooden items are permitted to be taken into the production areas. Production areas. If you are entering any of the manufacturing areas, do not wear any loose clothing, watches, jewelry, or unconfined long hair near machinery. Be aware of hot surfaces and rotating machinery. Be careful of slippery floors. Some areas are high noise zones and require hearing protection to be worn at all times. A number of areas across site have been zoned as being hazardous areas due to the possibility of vapors or dust particles igniting. No ignition sources such as cell phones may be taken into or used in these areas. All zoned areas have signage displayed at the entrance to these rooms indicating that they are hazardous areas and that cell phones are not permitted inside. Your GSK host will inform you of the particular hazards in any area and supply you with the appropriate protective equipment. All contractors are required to wear safety boots and a clean high visibility jacket when on site. When it is necessary to wear hard hats whilst working at a height, the hard hats must be fitted with chin straps. All other PPE required to perform the task safely will be task-related and stipulated on the method statement and permit to work. Any persons caught repeatedly not wearing the specified PPE will be removed from site. Tools and equipment. All contractors are required to use and manage their own tools and equipment. Contractors are responsible to ensure that their equipment is in good working order and where required, inspection schedules are adhered to. Contractors are to ensure that the correct equipment is used for the specified tasks. Take note, standing knives are not allowed to be used on site and only knives approved by GSK will be allowed. Work permits. The purpose of a permit to work system is to provide a safe working environment through the identification and mitigation of hazards already in existence at the area where the work will be carried out, and by identifying and mitigating the hazards that the work introduces to the area. Any persons found not wearing the prescribed personal protective equipment as stipulated on the permit to work or any other PPE request signage posted in the area will be removed from site. Before commencing with any work on site, the contractor must first obtain a work permit from the GSK Contract. Work permits are to be issued for all hazardous activities and include hot work, work at unprotected height, confined space entry, hazardous zones, disabling fire detection and protection equipment, excavation, demolition, overhead work, transformers and main distribution boards. Work permits are to be issued at the site where the work is to be done. Upon completion of the work or before the contractor leaves site for the day, the contractor must contact the receiver of the permit, communicate the status of the task, and, if applicable, sign the Fire Watch declaration as stipulated on the permit. All white copies of the permit must be returned to the receiver of the permit. LOTO. The meaning of LOTO is lockout, tagout. The purpose of this program at GSK is to protect workers during routine or unplanned maintenance. LOTO works by ensuring that the machinery remains isolated from all sources of energy during the intervention, thereby protecting those involved from being injured either by the energy sources themselves or as a result of an unexpected operation of the equipment. Examples of energy sources that could be locked out are electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, and steam. Emergency preparedness. A number of alarms are used on site to signal the status of various pieces of equipment. Before evacuating site, please confirm that the alarm being raised is the alarm signaling the implementation of the evacuation procedure. In the event of an emergency, all personnel must exit the site and meet at assembly point 11, which is outside the main sliding gate. The GSK emergency response personnel will then account for all visitors who have entered the site. Environmental management. Environmentally hazardous materials at our site. The site uses APIs and other raw materials that are environmentally hazardous, including albendazole, halfan, chlorhexidine, and many others. Manufacturing procedures and controls are in place to avoid discharge of these materials to the industrial wastewater system. Do not pour anything down the drain, e.g. floor drains, toilets, storm drains, etc., except in compliance with an approved GSK site procedure.
This concludes your brief safety induction to our GSK operations. Please follow these procedures at all times as your safety may depend on it. Please do not hesitate to ask your GSK responsible person if you are unsure of anything. Thank you for your cooperation. We trust that you will have a safe, productive and enjoyable visit to GSK.